The no monthly fee deal has stopped in one of our business bank accounts. So we've used our tool. We're going to move to Virgin. So it's out with Lloyds. We're going to move to Virgin. We're going to check out the switching service, see how that works, and see how long it takes to open an account with Virgin. Welcome back to the Basics of Business channel, everyone. And today we're back in the theme of bank accounts. We have no real loyalty to banks at all. So our free deal, no monthly fees with Lloyds has stopped with one of my business bank accounts. So we're just going to switch, try and move to another one to get some free banking. We've used our bank selector tool to try and help, which you can see in another video, which we'll put a link to select new accounts. Various videos we've done. Virgin's been one where people wanted to have a look at, so we're going to switch to that today. But first, we're going to check out the bank account switching service to see how that works, to see if that helps us, and then time and see how long it takes us to open the account with Virgin. If they let us do it, they might not. As the experience has told us. So let's crack on, get onto the switching service, and see how we get on. So now we're just going to go to the switching service, and we'll put all these links in the description below. But I don't know, it's a government site, I don't know, but it's just a site that is supposed to help you switch bank accounts if you want to do that.
Yeah, and I thought it was actually going to be more of a tool to process a switch, whereas actually, having looked at it, and we'll quickly go through it now, it looks to me to be more of an information about how you switch and, checklists of what information you'll need to be able to do it and stuff. I thought we'd be able to go on here and I don't know, it would have links to the different banks, or, even have like something like our bank selector tool on there, but it hasn't got it. It suggests you go off to Money Supermarket or somewhere else to try and work out which would be the best bank for you to switch to. So yeah, it is what it is. We've got it here. So how to switch. We're on a business current account. So as I say, it just sort of runs through the information. Are you able to switch? So you need to have less than 50 employees, turnover less than 6.5 million. You then need to find a new account, and it tells you the things you might want to look at. And as I say, it directs you to NerdWallet or Money Supermarket. Of course, our tool far better.
Yeah. And we've used that as said. We'll find out.
Yeah. So then next, review your existing payments. So rather than switch any standing orders that you don't want to your new account, it's an opportunity to do some housekeeping, get rid of, tidy that up before you do it, get all your documentation together of what you're going to need to open the bank account.
But even on that, you need to check for the individual account, whichever one you've chosen. They might want something else, so that might be a full list, it might not.
Yeah, exactly. Then you open your account, choose a switching date, start the switch, know your rights there, and then you start using your new account. Yeah. And there's a current account switch guarantee, so if anything goes wrong and it costs you any money, you should be able to.
And what's that switching checklist? I assume that's just, again, it's just an information site, just giving you exactly what you have. Yeah.
It's basically what we've just run through anyway.
Yeah. So it's not doing as much as it's just an information thing. I thought you're right. I thought it would take us through a process, but it's just telling you what the process is. So
we're going to go to Virgin Money for business. We want a business current account, accounts to build your business on. Which one do we want? We're going to look at the M account for business, which no monthly fee and free day-to-day digital banking, turnover less than $1 million. So looks to be good for us. Has the switch guarantee. So we'll click on to that. Our most popular business bank account. We're going to get started.
So do you want to check what excuse me, in terms of what we need? Check this. There you go. Are we eligible? If our tool is correct, it will say yes. So based on
reasons you may not be eligible.
We are not trading in Crimea, Iran, North Korea, or Syria. Not a Shell Bank. No. what we'll need for opening the account. Financial information, including business turnover, company's house name,
Director staff.
Director staff. Okay, so standard stuff, business email.
There's nothing there.
Okay.
Yeah, fine.
So that's what, to make a sort of fair comparison, we're going to time and see how long it takes us, because a big thing I think is in terms of opening, how long it takes to open an account.
Yeah, I'll set up a stopwatch on my phone.
This should not, in this day and age, this should not take a huge amount, particularly to go through the application. It might take a little bit longer depending to open the account. We hope not, but let's hit the count. Do you want to hit the button?
I'm going to hit the button. We're going to start.
We're
now.
off. What do we reckon?
Limited.
20 minutes?
Could be, yeah.
20 minutes, okay.
Limited company.
Hopefully 15.
Continue. Company number. So the first thing is company number or registered name. So this is for one of your other businesses, so you fill in the details.
Continue. That's us. So that is me. There we go. So that's handy. It sort of searches company's house. That definitely makes things a bit easier. Pulling in the details. Some of the ones we've gone through don't do that, so that definitely helps with time. Second account holder to be. Okay. UK based. Yep. Okay. Good. Awesome.
Continue.
Okay. Yes. Yep.
So the passcode, please.
Well, let's see, that is
okay, I've got it.
837665. There we go. There we go. Last year now. Oops. Just makes the process just much slicker, which is great. Application now saved, so if I want to come through, that helps.
So country of birth.
Yep. Yep. Do they like me or not? I think this is the check. Jesus, I can't remember what I did last week. Never mind, didn't do this. Wow. Yep. So have I got these right? That's some. Oh, that's okay. So I'm legit. That's good. That was some serious memory testing.
So we're in there 7 minutes 15 seconds. We don't already have an account before.
So we're going to say, yeah, services. Top one. That one, yep. Yep.
So you've got to say something about what you do.
There we go. Okay, then it's just a review, checking all your things there. Those are the ones we entered earlier. Same as registered address. Mailing, same as registered.
Have you got a website?
Nope. Well, that's interesting. So they're starting to tell you, well, it's obviously a sales thing, but you could obviously say yes and they'll follow up, but no, we're not.
So do you want offers?
So just say email, I can get rid of the rest. No, 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 no.
Review your details again.
Looking good.
Just one person
Just
to
say
make
anyone. So if you said any two, it might add some additional things.
So these are the terms and conditions, which you should pause it for 4 hours while you read all of those.
So interestingly, they've not asked any details about, did we go through the switch service?
Not, you have to open the account first, though, don't you? It's not, there's nothing there about
Switching.
Are you going to want to do that? No. So we've now bit. So we're done. We are at just over 13 minutes. So I'm going to pause that.
Okay. So it's saying because there's someone else involved in the business, it sent them things. So
yeah.
Technically, we're not quite finished, but in terms of put the initial bit in, we've done our bit.
So what we'll do is we're going to have to now pause. We won't be able to do the switching until the account is open.
Okay, so we'll need to do a follow-up now in terms of, so I'll chase, so obviously if there are more people involved, more directors, you'd be chasing them all, and so that would all form part of the time it takes before it actually gets it opened, but we'll come back when we hear any more, basically, from Virgin and see how long it takes and update it.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to exit here.
So it was a good initial process. 13 minutes, it was pretty good, like integration with Company's House. That definitely makes a difference. I'll chase up the other director to make sure they get their bits done so we can get the account opening, and we'll come back and update you on how we've got on. Okay, we're back. We've done a bit of time travel. I picked up a cold on the way. After that, we've done our application now. It's a few days later, and the good news is it's gone really well. It was I think it was 15 minutes the online application.
Yep.
It was approved the next day. I got set up on internet banking. I then got the card for Virgin a couple of days later. I then got the PIN. So all in all, account opening wise, which is one of our sort of key metrics when it comes to banking, absolutely no complaints. It worked really well. It's probably, as I say, we give it a 2 in our matrix, as you'll see. I would say it probably should be standard, but it's a 2 given where it is. Probably a slight caveat, and you probably agree with this, is everyone involved in the business was UK citizens. That probably makes a difference in terms of speed. But as I say, we can only judge them on what happened, and it worked really well. So thumbs up so far for Virgin on an account opening. Again, looking back to our sort of classic banking scoreboard, access mandates is a big thing for us in terms of anyone you should be control. Anyone can access who you set up and you control at any level you want. So we're going to do that just now and try and see if I'll put Neil, see if we can just give Neil access and see what sort of levels we can and see if that works. So if we're logged on now, and we're just going to give that a trial and see how we get on.
Okay, so yeah, we're logged on already here into our account. This is the home page, so we're just going to go in now, user management. That seems to be the obvious place to want to go. We'll find out. So add new user. That should be pretty simple, pretty obvious.
There we go, just adding for an email address and
this person.
Okay. And you are who you say you are.
Yes.
Excellent. That's good.
What do we want this person to be able to do?
So let's see, what are the options? What can we say?
So Neil has been successfully set up. What permissions do you want him to have?
So did that set you up without getting a text or anything? So anything confirmation, it just set you up?
Yeah, I've just realised that I do have an account with Clydesdale.
Okay.
So a personal account. So that whether that's how they've done that or I'm going to get something else, I don't know. But that's interesting.
Interesting. So if it does, that probably skews this a little bit because they already know who you are.
It has made it even easier. Yeah.
Who you are. Okay.
So if you're allowing this user to approve payments, you can find out more here. When it comes to approving payments, this will be done electronically. Da, da, da.
Okay. So we're not quite clear what access. Oh, there you go. So we go further down. So you could either add a payee. So just view transactions, set up payments, approve payments up to a thing. So that's pretty comprehensive.
View balance.
Yeah, but as in if you're, that's what we want. Really, those are the key things we'd want to be able to.
I think when you're looking at this, you've got to think, right, am I in business with someone else? So this is your other interest. But if we were in business, you say, actually, yeah, I want you to be able to make payments, set up PAYEs. I want you to do things so that it's not all on you. If you have a bookkeeper, you might want them to be able to set up payments and transfers, which you then go on and approve. You might have a bookkeeper who you're still doing all the processing, but you still want them, they're going to want to come in and look at the bank statements, because even when you have the bank feeds into Xero or Sage or whatever your software is, sometimes those links break, and the only way you know is when you actually get the bank statement and go, oh, the bank statement says that, my accounting software says that, oh, there's 3 days where the link didn't work or something. Anyway, I've certainly seen that happen. So, even though you might have the bank feed set up, if you are using externally or someone employed internally who's doing the bookkeeping, they probably will want to view the balances and transactions. As I say, if you've got someone working in your business who is actually setting up the payments and things, so I've got to pay the supplier, they set it up, but they can't actually approve it. The other one, adding payees, that can be, again, when you're looking at that, do you want someone to be able to add themselves as a payee? Do you want them to be able to go in and edit the bank details of that payee? So I'm just like, some of the frauds that you've seen is, oh, I think I'm paying Joe Bloggs, the bank account details get changed, and actually you're paying.
But it's giving us the control we would want.
Yeah, I mean, you can either give someone everything, or you can limit them to just be allowed to view, setting up payments, doing everything. So I mean, you couldn't ask for any. I can't think of anything else you would want
to do that.
People to have.
Okay.
So I think on that basis we will just continue because it'll be just view balance. Add pay. We just didn't say that, did we? So what's that's coming?
So we didn't. So it said
please confirm the permission. Oh, just confirm that it's right. So which is what we've done.
View balance. Confirm. Doesn't it? Okay. And now I'm assuming we'll go back in.
Can you please make sure you speak to them so they know they've been added?
No, you've been added.
All right. Thank you. I'll click confirm then. We've sent you a passcode.
So is that to me? Okay.
Or is that to me?
No, it sent one to me, so it's fine. 583917. So it's said to me as the administrator to say okay. And then we'll confirm again.
There you go.
There you go.
I'm now
let's, if we go back in, say I now wanted to change that and add payments and stuff like that, can I do that?
So I'm just going to click here first to see what happens. Yeah, edit details. So yeah, you would be able to go in and
edit
change
permissions, and change it. Let's just click on that edit, so hopefully it'll take us back.
Yeah, it's gone back to
that
so you
screen.
could change it to that if you wanted to. So we'll just cancel that. But yeah, it'd be very easy.
To do what we think you should,
Yeah, and again, it's one of those things when we first started doing this, who knew that some banks didn't let you do that? That hey, it's your money in your account, but no, we're only going to let you, only allow people who are registered as directors at Companies House to access the data. We're not allowing your bookkeeper. We're not allowing your account. We're not allowing your internal, FD unless they are actually registered at Companies House as a director. So, yeah, I have to say I don't think before we started doing this that I realised some banks didn't let you do it. But there we go.
Okay, so that's good news. So, in terms of mandates, a big thing for us. Talked about it before. That's another 2. So that's a tick. The next one, moving on to online services. So historically, when we've looked at this, we've tended to look at things like, is there both a desktop option to log in and mobile, etc. The better ones that we've sort of seen before in terms of Starling and Revolut had marketplaces where they had integrations with not just your classic finance software like Xero, QuickBooks, Sage, etc., but also productivity tools, HR. Looking at this one, there seems to be a marketplace. It says new here, so I'm assuming it's not been before. So clicking into that, it feels like they're moving in that direction as we go. Looking at it, it feels much more basic in terms of the offerings that they've got compared to the ones where we scored more highly before. However, it is there. You've got your 3 months free and savings on certain things. So we've not had the account for long enough, I think, in terms of to say how good it is. But in terms of on the face of it, I think it's definitely a 1. It's standard. It's what we'd expect. It's not worse than that. As I say, we don't know enough, I think, to make it better. So I think that's definitely a 1, I think, from our perspective.
Yeah, I mean, it's there. It's there are others that are more have got more to offer, but certainly there are some that don't have anything to offer.
And they don't. They just have an app, or they don't have any desktop access. When it comes to finance, I don't know. I think it's probably showing my age, but there's always a bit in finance where I want to see it in a bigger screen, just to for certain things, confirming I'm doing what I should be doing.
It always makes me laugh as well. You look at all these extra things. It's like, let's just check they're doing the banking right first before we're going to, get HR tools and HR advice and mentor advice and insurance and all the other things. Actually, can you just be a bank to begin with? But,
And that's a good point. It's like some of them do software like payroll, some of them do software. And I think we talked about before, that's something I'd always be wary of in terms of these companies that are like, they're the experts in the software.
Yeah.
The banks, I would suggest they're doing it. I'm sure they are doing it to make it easier for some customers, but if you start with it and you're hooked on them, then it's hard to leave that bank if you get fed up with them and you've got a year's worth, 2 years worth of data looked up in there. So that was something we'd always sort of caution against if that's something that you think is a sale and a positive for them. Moving on to fees, the main reason for setting this up was we were looking for no monthly fee. There isn't one with this account. It's the M account with Virgin, so that's again a big plus for us. There are fees with cash if you're putting cash in and out, but that's for everybody across the board. If you're using cash, you're going to get charged fees, unfortunately. So it's definitely another win for us from that perspective. Another 2, credit wise, I think if we go back to the account, it will show us they have, being a bank. If we go,
in products.
I think.
Okay.
So you just go back to the marketplace and scroll down. There you go. That's what I said before. So that's what you'd expect from a bank in terms of overdrafts, loans, different types of asset finance, etc. As I say, I'm sort of smiling as in whether you get them or not is another matter, but we can't obviously score beyond that. In terms of, I think we go on about it a lot with the banks in terms of, I mean, it almost feels like pointless sometimes they offer these things given it is a faceless computer somewhere that's deciding that, I mean, there's no relationships now that will make sure that you get any credit that.
And that's who they blame. That's who they blame for not giving you credit.
Doesn't allow you. So if the computer says no, even though they offer it, you're just not going to get it, and there's nothing you can do about it, unfortunately. And that's a big bugbear of ours. However, on the face of it, they offer credit that other banks and even money institutions don't do. So on that basis, we've got to score that a 2 again, which brings us on to our last one of service. We've not had the bank, not had it long enough to give a proper view in that. However, it has stores, so Virgin has stores, not branches that now, so they are there available. You can go and speak to someone personally. You have, you can send messages through this, you can do chat, etc. So on the face of it, it has more than some that are just chat only and things like that. They have no branches, etc. So in terms of
all the tools are there for them to be able to, to give the impression that they actually want to give some level of service, which, again, surprisingly, not all the banks give that impression in the first place. No. So that's good.
And there's this thing we'll look at it more in terms of as we go along. We'll come back to it when we do an update. Is this expert mentoring? I'm not quite seen where it fits on. It was one of the things that was sold as an advantage. So we'll keep an eye on that and see what that is. Yeah. And come back to it. So, I mean, looking at the scores, that gives us a 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 10. So on our matrix, in terms of it's right up there at the moment. One of the things that sort of like we thought, oh, great, and it has been a good experience so far in terms of particular around things that we would want. But looking at this sort of the business banking service qualities survey, which we sort of look at now and again, Virgin are down in 10th now.
This is for overall, yeah.
Overall, we're scoring them at the top at the moment in our matrix. So there's a disconnect there. So we've not quite worked out what that is until this is interviewing 1,200 customers across each bank. So there's a disconnect there that we've not worked out yet. However, we can only go in our experience so far. That's what it's given us. We're going to do an update on our hub, which you can check out just now, please, where we compare 9 other different banks and show the process that we use. We're going to update that shortly, in the next couple of months, and we'll sweep Virgin into that. And we've had more time to see how they compare. So check that out now, and as I say, stay tuned to get an update in that in the next couple of months, which I think, given this, will hopefully give us pretty much almost all of them. We'll have a sort of opinion on them.
Yeah, and there's, as we've been doing this, there's a new name appeared on the list here, Zempler Bank, and we found that there's been a couple of other things we've come across of new banks. We over the next couple of months we will update our hub video.
Whether we like them anymore or not, I doubt that. It's probably levels of indifference. Probably when it comes to the banks. But from a Virgin's Money's perspective, good initial impressions. It's done what we asked. We chose it based on our banking tool for the reasons, and it has delivered so far. So we can only go on what we've seen so far. Let us know in the comments if there's anything else that you'd like us to look at as regards Virgin specifically, or the update of the banking hub. And as ever, and most importantly, wish you every success in your business. Hit that like button, check out our other videos, and we'll see you soon.